So I want to pick up one of the ideas from Sunday. We're in our series, Swipe Right. We're talking about sexuality as humans. On Sunday, we're talking about what it means to be a human with a body and sexual desires. We looked at this passage from Matthew 5, where Jesus is talking ostensibly about lust. He says, if you look at another woman lustfully, you have already committed adultery. And we looked at how that word, epithumeo, is really about coveting. The idea here isn't that sexual desire is wrong. It's not even that looking at a woman and realizing that she's beautiful or that you are sexually attracted to her is wrong. The line is when that becomes not just sexual desire, but becomes a desire to possess someone, to treat them like an object, to covet them like you might covet your neighbor's house or ox or donkey. He's pulling here from the Ten Commandments, and he's using language that's tied to this idea of coveting or treating someone as your property. It's really what this is about. He's not shaming us for sexual desire. He's talking about when sexual desire crosses the line into the dehumanizing of another human being. One of the things I didn't get to talk about that's really interesting here is that he's talking to men in the context of marriages, right? The next passage, he's going to talk about divorce and when those marriages dissolve. But first he says, when anyone looks at a woman lustfully. Notice here, he doesn't say when you look at another woman who is not your wife. He says when you look at any woman. What he's talking about is even within the context of our marriages, even in the context of committed, faithful, monogamous, mutual relationships, our sexual desire can still turn into this broken form of dehumanizing lust that turns someone into an object. I can just as easily dehumanize my wife as I can a woman on a screen of a website that I look at. I can just as easily reduce my wife down to an object to be possessed, to be owned, as I can someone that I work with. The rule here isn't that when you're in a marriage, everything is okay. The rule is that we have to engage each other as full human beings, worthy of dignity and autonomy and respect. And until we get that right, our sexuality will always be just enough off-center that it will begin to corrupt us, to break us, to turn us into something that we were not meant to be. Your sexual desires are beautiful, they're good, they're part of what makes you human in a body. But when they allow you to begin to start to treat other human beings, either the people around you that you're in relationship with, or human beings that you interact with through a screen, when you interact with them as an object to possess, to use, to gratify just your desires and not to dignify them as human persons, this is when things go sideways. So honor your sexuality by embracing it, by understanding that your desires are good and holy and sacred when pointed in the right directions. But when you begin to treat someone as an object, you need to take a step back to understand how this breaks down their autonomy, their dignity, their humanity, but also yours as well. And this is important for us as human beings who move through the world, that we learn to treat each other with the same dignity we need to treat ourselves with. May you be more fully human this week, and may you extend that same dignity to all those you encounter today.